Guys, I'm back. It was one stupid little thing that I didn't think to try when I was in the chapel. And yeah, I looked this up. I feel bad about it, but whatever. I wanted to get right back into the game, so... Right, the sign. Something curiously different about the INRI sign now. Yeah. Especially... Apparently, even though it doesn't look like I can even reach it if you use the crowbar on it. Do-do-do. Careful, Christ, you might fall off your cross. I guess we're going in. Oh, it's dark. Wait. Did I turn my brightness down, or is this... Oh, I turned my brightness down a lot, that's what it is. Okay, it is still pretty freaking dark in here, though, isn't it? Huh. Light switch? Yeah. Okay. I don't think the lantern will work. No. How am I supposed to see in here? It's so dim. There's a candlestick with another plant in it, it looks like. Nearly impossible to discern anything in the secret room, but that seemed to be a candle. Oh! Oh, light the candle. What the... Oh. What in the hell is that mask? Or that... Huh. Most of the books scattered in the hidden room were about occultism and African culture. Even their titles were disturbing. Strange titles such as De Vermis Mysteries gave me the shivers. As much as I love books, I didn't dare to open those. Okay, let's see here. Alright, no books. There's clearly a lot of papers. Can't look at those? Okay. April 5th, 1963. When did he supposedly die? June. Christopher, these may very well be my last notes in this regard. I'm afraid Catherine has already realized what I've been doing here all the time. In vain I've tried to explain myself, and I know what might have been the outcome had I kept insisting. If you could only believe me, Christopher, because I know you intend well, but I can feel the doubt in your heart. Put your rational thoughts aside for a moment and yield to the facts. If I can do it, someone who was constantly taught in the wonders of science ever since his childhood, then so can you. I'm hoping that you will contemplate the possibility of some truth in my assessments once you read about my latest findings. It is imperative that you carry on with this task. Catherine is watching my every step, and I'm afraid she'll take strong measures if I do anything out of the ordinary. Did you know she has been talking to other doctors besides you, and psychiatrists? My God, Christopher, I fear that she's willing to shut me up in a madhouse. How is it possible that all of you won't believe me? As if what happened with my own son wasn't enough proof. In my adjacent notes you will find an exhaustive essay on the origin of the curse and what should be done to eliminate it. I know the whole amulet deal must sound crazy, but you have to trust me. The tribe has been doing this for centuries. Are you going to forfeit all that knowledge and experience? Amulet. Maybe it's that claw necklace. They faced a god, Christopher, and lived to tell it. Now it's our turn to live and to tell the story. And Christopher, if we fail to remove the curse and anything happens to me, I want you to do it, and I have my complete mental faculties whilst I'm asking you this. It has been becoming more and more dangerous lately. Do not hesitate. There is simply no other way, and you would be the only one left who can do it. Promise me you will. I know I'm asking you to become a cold-hearted murderer, but Christopher, our lives, and possibly many others, are at stake. Isn't that enough to forget your vow? Right. Yeah, the oath, the Hippocratic Oath, or whatever, probably is what he's talking about. So, I know I'm asking you to become a cold-hearted murderer, so yeah, the ritual probably involves sacrifice, like that story in his... March 26th, okay, here we go. The folklore of the Dalmar is just as disturbing as their vicious attacks. If my researches have been correct, then I could have stumbled upon one of the most ancient tribes ever known to humanity, dating back to the era where the so-called Bushmen inhabited South Africa. We're talking over 20,000 years ago. How could any civilization manage to survive all this time without ever hunting or expanding? Just being there. I don't dare imagine what 200 centuries of inbreeding and cannibalism can do to people. I've seen them, and they can't be called humans. What is most unsettling is their mystical background, impossible to be considered a religion due to its complete lack of basic rules and maturity. The only simple premise is to keep an evil entity at bay which has been stalking them since the beginning of time, or Dark Ages. At this point in my research, I had to stop and consider the implications. The Dalmar actually thought of their later period, the systematic slaughtering of mankind, as good times or golden ages. I thank the Lord that this tribe never managed to grow, as I seriously think the region, maybe even the entire continent, would have suffered terrible consequences. This history is so ancient that it makes me feel dizzy. The vengeful god, which is incidentally referred to as Dalhum, would control the Dalmar via its many incarnations. Most of the time it would be a tall feline figure, always dwelling in the shadows and slaying any villager who would unwittingly come close. Some say its deadly claws would not only penetrate your body, but your soul. The purpose of the harassment is unclear. It would look as if the Dalmar were simple toys to play with. It seems that the Dalmar managed to free themselves from its clutches with the help of an amulet or a charm which would effectively force the entity to retreat. The most curious thing is how this amulet was conceived. Two main elements were required to perform the exorcising of this evil, and they had to be strictly related to each other, one representing the victim and the other representing the victimizer. To achieve this, something related to each one was used. While I'm not sure what is referred to as the victim, I think it can be considered that anything belonging to any villager would have served, given that they were all victims. So in my case, it would be something of mine, probably, yeah, or Michael's, whatever. As for something representing the victimizer, that may have been more complicated. What could possibly be related to a god? Well, in this case, a mask, I assume. This god in question? Next, these elements had to be mixed with a rare medicinal plant native to the region, which apparently had the properties to blend both items together, as long as they were not too solid. Wait, what? These elements had to be mixed with, the plant that I have in my inventory, which apparently had the properties to blend both items together, as long as they were not too solid. So, blood. I need, blood, my blood, and maybe whatever's in the basement's blood. I don't know. Finally, a branch of a particular tree, whose name escapes me now, had to be used as the holder of the blended items. Branch of a tree. Well, there's bamboo in that. Branch of a particular tree had to be used as the holder of the blended item. I don't know. It is on this item that a mysterious blessing was performed. It should be noted that all the elements had to be organic. Right. The Dalmar successfully released themselves from the control of the vicious god with an intense ritual that seems to have taken days to perform. In the end, the amulet was so powerful that the entity surrendered to their will and offered divine power in exchange for sacrifices. But the Dalmar wouldn't allow to be fooled. They decided that getting rid of this evil once and for all would be the wisest thing to do, so they managed to capture its spirit and store it someplace where they could guard it for ages to come, which must be the mask. Okay. My god, the evil spirit was cast into a mask, trapped inside the confines of its blessed wood for eternity. A mask which its description bears uncanny resemblance to... Who am I fooling? It is that mask. The Dalmar would keep this spirit at bay via regular rituals involving the bloody sacrifices and the aforementioned amulet. The last book I read today about the Dalmar, in reality 2 small paragraphs as amusing bonus reading in a book lent by the museum, has revealed to me something that left me completely paralyzed with terror. I always wondered since I began studying them what made the Dalmar savagely slaughter neighboring tribes without any apparent reason. Was it a violent raw instinct? Did they feel threatened in any way? Was it by a perverse and ungodly sense of enjoyment? No, it was fear. Fear that someone else would take the mask and release the god. They killed to protect themselves from falling again into the Dark Ages. If they went to such extreme lengths to avoid this, then what did they have to endure when the entity was free? The rituals haven't been performed on the mask for years now. What have I done? What have I done? I was shocked to learn about this evil. Terrible as it was, I still wondered to what extent James Blackwood went to get rid of the curse. Oh, is this the wood thing? The branch he was talking about? No. Alright. The branch was very solid. Okay. Huh. So what the hell is that? Can't interact with it. Just an African artifact, I guess. Alright. So I need something that isn't solid, that belongs to a victim, which could be me, or it could be the wife, or even Christopher, probably. I need... If I'm the victimizer... Wait, or is the mask the victimizer? Wait a minute. To achieve this, something related to each one must use. I think it can be concluded that anything belonging to would have served, given they were all victims. That might have been more complicated. Okay, so the mask is the victimizer, and then I need something of mine, like blood, or even something not solid. So the mask, my blood, the berries, put them on this stick. And then it becomes an amulet? I guess. I'm not sure. But the mask is solid. What is there that's not solid that belongs to the mask god dude? Let's just go get the mask if it'll let me. Alright, so... combine the knife with the... no. Something of mine. That could be... my car keys, I can't get them right now. None of this stuff is mine. The journal, I don't think I can use that. I mean, no. It's cursed. Sacrifice. Maybe I can call, Jerry. I have no idea.